Hakeem very close here now to a triple-double. Mutombo working against him. Turns.
Hello and welcome, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan. I'm joined by Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. We fired up the film, and we have a great game to look back on with Hakeem the Dream taking on Dikembe Mutombo in Houston, Texas.
Well, what more could you ask for in a matchup like this? Mutombo going toe-to-toe with one of the great centers of all time in Hakeem Olajuwon.
Surely whoever can get the upper hand in the middle of the paint will have an advantage over their opponent. You know, it won't be easy, though, with two centers of this caliber.
And the contrasting styles of Hakeem's post-moves variety versus Mutombo's shot-blocking ability, that'll be fun to watch. We're in for a show.
A rundown of the Rockets who they've got out there right now. At the center, of course, is Hakeem Olajuwon. Otis Thorpe and Robert Horry fill out the forward positions for them. In the back, it's Kenny the Gent Smith and Bernie Maxwell rounding out the five. And on the Denver side, you have Dikembe Mutombo anchoring the Nuggets defense. Also on the floor at the 3 and 4, Reggie Williams and LaFonso Ellis out of Notre Dame. In the backcourt, Stith plays off guard, and Abdul Rauf is the floor general.
Well, you look back at the early part of Hakeem Olajuwon's career. It didn't take him long to really become an impact player for Houston. And he teamed with Ralph Sampson to form the Twin Towers on that front line.
Smith against Abdul Rauf. Over Thorpe. And again, Denver no good. Going back to Olajuwon's rookie year, 20 points, 12 rebounds, right out of the gate with, what, about 3 blocks a game.
Yeah, and what's amazing to me is that he did all of that as a... Oh! Yes, indeedy. Boy, I love that one. That's not just any plain dunk. That has some panache to it.
That's an energizer, guys. That is an energizer.
That is, and that will lift the whole team up.
Olajuwon backing down. Plenty of room around him, and it's good. Olajuwon's got 6. Here's Abdul Rauf. Now Smith defending. Shot from the top of the key. Shot's good by Abdul Rauf.
Man, is he hard to defend. You play him one way, he'll just go the other.
You know, it didn't take long for Dikembe Mutombo to gain his footing in the NBA after Nuggets took him 4th in the '91 draft. Immediately an All-Star in his first season.
And that was the first of 8 All-Star appearances for him, Clark. And excellent interior defense there. Good rotations.
No doubt about it, Steve. He's a real presence inside. Takes up a lot of space.
Williams' shot is off. And here are the Rockets. Here's Thorpe. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. It's going to be on Dikembe Mutombo.
But the list of Hakeem Olajuwon's accomplishments is so long. Of course, he won a couple of titles with the Houston Rockets, an All-Star almost every year. He's also one of only 4 players ever to record a quadruple-double.
And Steve, back to that quad-double of Hakeem you were talking about, I remember that. He did against, I think, the Bucks back in 1990.
Man, you got an unbelievable memory, Kevin, or either you've got a good research department, one or the other, but 18 points, 16 rebounds, 10 assists, 11 blocks in 40 minutes. Those were the numbers. And you don't see that very often at all, a quadruple-double.
They're moving it around. Stith, the pass to Mutombo. No good. And the Rockets go the other way. Smith with it. Olajuwon backing down.
At the line for the Rockets, Hakeem Olajuwon. 2 shots.
Hakeem at the line, a 71% free throw shooter in his career. And the Nuggets with some changes. Johnson, he's checked in for Mutombo. Rogers comes in for Reggie Williams. And Pack subbed in for Stith. He doesn't get the second one.
Had a miss on that trip, but still made this a 2-possession lead. One thing I always remember about Abdul Rauf was his unbelievable college career at LSU, especially that freshman year. 30 points a game, and he did it with flair and flash. That's still a freshman record, guys.
Olajuwon inside, off the mark. The Nuggets trail by 4. You're right, Clark, talking about Abdul-Rauf, LSU days, and then, as a sophomore, he averaged 28 points as well. 2 seasons, 2 times All-American, Steve, not bad.
No, he was an amazing collegiate player, just an incredible shooter, worked so hard on his jump shot, and once he got to the NBA, that thing was pretty much automatic. I used to hate to guard him.
Johnson on him, with some arc, and Olajuwon gets it to go on the assist from Kenny Smith. Smith's got 4 assists in the game. Abdul-Rauf against Maxwell. Here's Abdul-Rauf. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
Abdul-Rauf will always be Chris Jackson to LSU fans, but after a year in the NBA, he converted to Islam and changed his name. Yeah, he was a very outspoken young man, bright, and very socially conscious.
Here's what Denver's going with right now. Hammonds, he's checked in for Johnson. And it's Williams in for Ellis. The and one is good, so a 3-point play that time. And Abdul-Rauf, very controversial too, Clark. You may remember for his refusal to stand for the national anthem. He saw it as a critique of some of the nation's injustices, but it did not go over well, to say the least. Steve, there was no doubt about it. That incident probably hurt his career as much as any, and of course injuries later on.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the city of Denver really turned on him, after that incident, and it was really unfortunate the way it played out. He was just trying to make a political statement, but obviously got himself in some hot water. But he was a phenomenal shooter and scorer, somebody who could really play.
Thorpe gets called for the reach. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line.
That's his first personal foul. Second team.
That free throw, no good. And he sinks the second. Here's Smith. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Here's Ori. Another miss by Houston. A good game so far as we conclude the first quarter. The Nuggets on top, leading by just 2.
A lot of hard work being put in on the glass. This is a very physical team. They're doing a nice job in the paint.
Yeah, and I think they're doing a good job gang rebounding too, Steve. Everybody's boxing out down there.
It's more NBA coming your way. And we got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter.
Yeah, and you look back at when Hakeem Olajuwon was drafted, he was the first overall pick, and that turned out to be just an amazing class. Remember, Michael Jordan was part of that draft class as well.
Thorpe is out there with Olajuwon. Then it's Cassell. Then there's Ellie, and it's Davis in at the 3 slot. That's the 5 for Houston right now.
Well, credit the defense, but you've got to be more careful with the ball.
Olajuwon backing down from the left block. It's in. Olajuwon's got the opening field goal of the second quarter for the Rockets. And back to Hakeem, some of those players in that 84 draft. I mean, it's a who's who. Jordan taken 3rd over. Stockton was taken 16th over. That's 4 Hall of Famers, Clark, right there.
Yeah, and Hakeem going on top of Jordan wasn't really a mistake. I mean, you draft based on need, and Hakeem is a Hall of Famer. He's a big guy. That's what the Rockets needed. Jordan ended up winning 6 titles, but the Rockets knew when they took Hakeem, they'd get at least 2 rings out of it, and that's what ended up happening. So you can't fault the Rockets there, and they needed a big guy. So all understandable, and it is what it is as we look back on those careers now.
Back passes to Rogers. Goes up on the high post. A couple of bounces and it falls. And that'll tie this game up.
Well, they've done a lot of their damage from mid-range here, guys. I mean, knocking down those shots with regularity.
Yeah, how about 8 of their last 10 points, guys, coming off that mid-range area jump shot. So, shows you don't have to be at the rim to score.
And count it, the shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
Great finish there, and now he's got a free throw coming, too.
Boy, that's a big boy move right there, partner. I mean, it takes a lot of strength to finish a shot through contact like that.
Catching up on the changes for Denver. Tumbo is checked in for Hammond. Ellis comes in for Rogers. And it's Abdul Rauf in for Reggie Williams.
Pack went undrafted out of USC, but played his way onto the Blazers as a rookie free agent in '91. And that's a team that wound up in the NBA Finals that year, guys.
Well, Robert Pack put in a lot of work, guys, and it paid off. He lasted 13 years in the league, 4 with the Nuggets. Those are impressive numbers, particularly for a guy who was not drafted.
Rockets trail by 3. Olajuwon inside, covered by Mutombo.
Solid advantage in the rebounding totals for them so far here.
You know, in every game, but particularly in a close game, every little advantage you can use helps, and they're certainly enjoying one on the glass here.
He dishes it to Olajuwon. Shoots. Money on the 10-footer. Olajuwon's got 4 this quarter.
You look at how they've been scoring the basketball, and it's really fun to watch them because all the baskets are coming off assists.
Well, keep that in mind. I mean, they're a much more efficient team when they make that extra pass. When they get in trouble, it's when they're taking quick shots. Great screen there. It sprung him open, and he took advantage.
A big part of these Rockets teams was having young Sam Cassell come in and help out off the bench. He showed no fear and made big shots.
Even as a rookie, Clark, he was an impact player right away for the Rockets. So he could have started for a lot of other teams, but really acted as the 6th man for Houston. Huge spark for them off the bench.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Nuggets.
Hakeem was such a great player, and it's really difficult to pick maybe what his best year was. He was consistent throughout his NBA career and just a phenomenal player.
Bullard, he's checked in for Thorpe. Reggie Williams, he's checked in for Denver. Smith comes in for Pat. Here's Smith. Shoots. Ellie grabs the board. I was thinking, you were talking about Olajuwon. I was thinking about Hakeem's best year. Might have been 1994. He was the MVP for the season and for the finals and led his team to a title.
Yeah, well, you look at the numbers, Kevin and Steve. I mean, 27 points and 12 boards a game that year, plus 53% shooting from the floor. And again, he wasn't a guy that was just shooting and making dunks. I mean, he was moving around, shooting that turnaround jump shot. He also blocked about 4 shots a game and had close to 2 steals a game. That's as dominating a performance as you can have from the center position for a season. That's one nice jam right there. I mean, make no mistakes. Just throw it down with both hands.
Good point. Took care of business simply and solidly. Olajuwon. The shot's good. Cassell making the play. Olajuwon's got 8 here in the quarter.
He's been producing all night. It's up to the rest of his team to start kicking in a little bit.
You know, guys, these teams originally had the same name. I mean, they were the Denver Rockets as a charter member of the ABA in 1967. They changed it to the Nuggets before the NBA-ABA merger in '76.
And, of course, Clark, they're one of the 4 original ABA teams in the NBA, along with the Spurs, Pacers, and Nets.
Another shot, and no mistakes on the layup. Olajuwon's got 20.
Well, after that strong start to this game, he's really picked it up here in the second.
Williams gets to Smith. Back to Williams.
Now, part of the reason they are where they are is that they have taken care of the ball for the most part.
Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. And now just a 1-point Nugget lead. The Nuggets on offense. Now Smith. Back to Mutombo. He's against Olajuwon. Mutombo inside. Ellis, that's good.
Well, that's a nice job on the boards to allow them a second high-quality look.
2 on the clock. Here's Olajuwon. More great action when we return. Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far.
Just on his numbers alone, you have to think that Hakeem Olajuwon ranks as one of the greatest defensive players of all time.
Taking a look at the Nuggets, Abdul-Rauf is out there with Stith. And it's Mutombo, then it's Ellis, and it's Williams at the 3 spot. Here's Mutombo. Nice rebound by Thorpe. The Rockets depend on him for those. Now here is Smith, looking for his first bucket of the game. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming his way. And Clark, you know, his defensive numbers, almost 2 steals and 3 blocks a game in his career. During his prime, though, Steve, close to the 4 blocks a game.
Well, that only scratches the surface. I mean, he was changing shots all the time, too. So when you talk about the greatest defensive players of all time, obviously, Bill Russell comes to mind, but I think Hakeem Olajuwon is in that conversation.
Here is Stith. Clock at 6. The Rockets pull it in.
Well, that's not Brian Stith's strong suit, guys. He did a lot of things well, but typically struggled as a 3-point shooter.
And guys, on the floor today are 2 of the greatest defensive centers ever, Olajuwon and Mutombo. They dominated the 90s inside defensively.
Well, between them, they won 5 of the 6 Defensive Player of the Year awards from 93 to 98. Hakeem won in 93 and 94, and then Mutombo won his 3 in 95, 97, and 98.
Here's Abdul-Rauf. 7 points in the game. Now Smith defending. There's the pass to Stith. Ellis against Maxwell. Shakes off the strong D and gets to the bucket for 2. And it's a 5-point Nugget lead. Abdul-Rauf against Smith. Here's Olajuwon. Good on the baseline jam. Olajuwon's got 26.
Look at their scoring. Mid-range jumpers account for 6 of their last 10 points.
Well, defensively, they're doing a nice job of keeping them out of the paint, but you got to give them credit. They're knocking down shots.
Denver calls timeout.
You know, this franchise made some history in 1994, guys. Remember? The first number 8 seed to knock off a number 1 when they beat the Sonics in 5 games.
Right. Here's Abdul-Rauf. Out of bounds, and they'll keep possession. And that upset Clark you just talked about was done in spectacular fashion, down 2-0. They came back and won the last 3 games. Steve, really a remarkable achievement.
And one of the NBA's most iconic images, for me anyway, the end of that series after Denver had completed the comeback, winning the final 3 games, Dikembe Mutombo on his back, crying, holding the ball over his head. What a picture.
Smith outside. Olajuwon backing down. Thorpe against Ellis. That's good.
Well, he's a slippery guy. I mean, he knows exactly how to use angles to slip his way past the defender and get into outstanding rebounding position for the putback.
Stith, the pass to Abdul-Rauf. They're working it around. Horry against Williams. Right up. And he banks in the layup. Williams has got 5 now.
As a 6'7" small forward out of Georgetown, the Clippers took Reggie Williams fourth in the 1987 draft.
And, you know, after his spectacular 4 years with the Hoyas, 1987 was the start of a very solid pro career for him. He spent 10 years in the league, 6 of those in Denver, but never really became the superstar that people had predicted he would become.
For the lead, and Houston again with the bucket. Here's Abdul Rauf. He has 7. Here is Steph. Pass to Abdul Rauf. Outside Williams. Thorpe against Ellis. Marked down low that time, and he got the 3-second call.
You cannot afford to make mistakes like that here in a tight game.
For the Nuggets, Rogers comes in for Reggie Williams. And Pack subbed in for Steph. Houston in the lead. Clark, their offense has been great here.
Yeah, I love the way they've looked really strong and together.
Yeah, very aggressive, too. Keeping the defense off balance with their ball movement. I like the way they look. And one of the reasons Hakeem Olajuwon had such great footwork was his background was in soccer. He was actually a goalkeeper growing up in Nigeria, and that soccer background, I think, helped him become the NBA player that he was.
Denver calls timeout. Thinking back to that about Olajuwon, can you imagine trying to get a goal past Hakeem? Clark with that huge wingspan. You had kids who played soccer, so you know a little bit about that.
I do. I love the game, boy. I really enjoy watching soccer. And thinking about Hakeem, that wingspan is one thing, guys, but the quickness on the floor and his quickness off the floor, those are what made him special between the lines on the basketball court. I thought he had the perfect build, too, to patrol the lane. I mean, he was strong enough, but he was lean and athletic enough as well to be a real force in the paint. A tight game here. Neither team has been able to gain an upper hand on the backboard.
Well, both teams really getting after it inside. It's been an interesting battle.
Olajuwon backing down. Soft touch off the glass. Now it's a 5-point Rocket lead.
He's been so valuable for this team with plays like that one.
4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Rogers against Orr. Rogers passes to Abdul Rauf, and the shot is good. Abdul Rauf's got 9.
That time he found a gap in the defense to turn that one into a very easy jump shot, a warm-up jumper, if you will.
Passes it to Orr. Lets the free fly. That one goes. Come. And the Rockets lead by 6. Well, it's been an exciting game. Plenty of offense as we head to the 4th quarter. Hakeem Olajuwon has been sensational.
Yeah, the points have really come in bunches for him so far. And not really a surprise because you know exactly what he can do.
Well, he's been in the groove all game long, Steve, and not too many hiccups in regards to his shooting, but we also have come to expect this from him, so we're not surprised by it.
And we'll be back live from Houston. Here's Smith. They've got Maxwell. Ori is out there with Thorpe. And it's Smith. And it's Olajuwon in at the 5 spot. That's the 5 for Houston right now. Good. Olajuwon's got the first points up on the board here in the 4th for the Rockets. The Nuggets trail by 8.
You know, even at just 6'2", Pack was a spectacular dunker. I mean, he's got an incredible highlight reel.
Yeah, he could really fly. In fact, he finished 2nd in the '94 slam dunk contest among some really big competition. But Pack was an amazing athlete.
Clark, the possibility here of pushing their lead to double digits.
And psychologically, I think that would give them an even bigger edge, Kevin.
Nice shot by Smith. And it's a 10-point Rocket lead.
You know, they're just getting hammered inside and really need to find a way to be tougher down there. They got to be physical. They got to man up in there.
I agree. I mean, you look at the points they're giving up, most of them seem to be coming inside the paint. A big rejection from the Dream. He was not having any part of that one.
Kicks to Olajuwon. Pushes up. Dikembe Mutombo pulls it in. Mutombo's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. And again, Denver no good. Rockets leading by 10.
Otis Thorpe, the 9th overall pick in '84 out of Providence. He enjoyed a 17-year NBA career, the longest of any Providence alum.
And here's Denver. It's a 10-point game. Picked his pocket. Here is Ori. He kicks it to Olajuwon. Working on Williams. Olajuwon, good. Going back to Otis Thorpe, his 7.5-year tenure with the Rockets, his longest with any team. But Steve, in all, he played on 9 different NBA squads.
Yeah, he was in such great shape that Otis played well into his 30s and finished his career with over 17,000 points and over 10,000 rebounds. Kind of an unknown. I mean, Otis Thorpe was a much better player than people remember.
The Nuggets making a switch here. Johnson, he's checked in for Mutombo. Hammonds comes in for Rogers. Ellis, he's checked in for Reggie Williams. And it's Abdul Rauf in for Pat. And that's Hakeem with the steal.
He's been doing a nice job taking care of the ball. Not many miscues from him in this one. That's his only turnover.
Here's Maxwell. Olajuwon backing down. Shot clock at 6. No up. So the Nuggets will take it the other way.
Otis Thorpe was an incredibly durable player, guys. I mean, 17 years in the league, and he played all 82 games 9 times. That's an impressive record.
And at one point, Clark, he actually played in 542 straight games over 7 seasons. So you're right, he was a workhorse. And if you look at the all-time numbers, he's in the top 20 in games played overall.
The 10-footer, he bounces it in off the front of the iron. Olajuwon's got 38 points.
Boy, he's been so dependable here this game, really playing well offensively.
Denver calls timeout.
Yeah, he doesn't really like what he's seeing, and they're going to try to hash it out here.
And the Nuggets with some changes. Mutombo is checked in for Johnson. And it's Williams in for Hammonds. Here's Abdul Rauf. Covered by Smith. Here's Abdul Rauf. Now Smith defending. Here's Abdul Rauf. Three-pointer trained by Abdul Rauf.
Tell you what, Abdul Rauf could really shoot it, guys. He had some pretty good years there mid-career when he was averaging nearly 40% from three-point line.
Here's Olajuwon. Takes it up. And it's Denver with the rebound. Ellis has got 6 rebounds now in the game. Abdul Rauf against Smith. Outside Williams. And he zips to the basket and lays it in.
You have to have such a great feel for the ball to get a finger roll like that to go.
Guys, a good chance for them to slow it down.
Yeah, I agree. Got to use some clock here.
Smith. It's hauled in by the Nuggets. Early, they trailed by 14 points.
That's what Dikembe gives you on the glass. In fact, he's top 20 in the NBA's all-time rebound list.
Nothing fancy for him on that jam. Just a textbook flush.
Clarkie put it away without a moment's hesitation. Olajuwon to end the run. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. Good on the first, and that stretches their lead to 8. He's off that time, second free throw missing. And it's the Nuggets with the ball, trailing here by 8. That's good.
Man, that's a pretty dime. I mean, I love to see them work it inside like that.
And he stepped in the line, so they turn it over.
You know, something distracting him. The guy just kind of profiled right out of bounds.
Denver calls timeout. They're down by 6. 46 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Houston with a big group substitution here. Bullard, he's checked in for Thorpe. Jones comes in for Orr. Ellie's checked in for Maxwell. And it's Cassell in for Smith. And here's Denver. 6-point game. Abdul-Rauf kicks to Ellis. Gives him the lead pass. Shot's good by Abdul-Rauf.
You know, those types of high percentage shots, Kevin, should be a big part of what they do going forward.
Fades away. Cassell gets the bucket. And the Rockets lead by 6.
And maybe that will stem the tide a little bit. This club hanging on to its lead.
Well, you know what? That was a huge bucket for them, Steve, because they want to maintain the lead, and they've got to keep scoring to do that.
And an intentional foul right there.
That's his first personal foul. Second team.
Gets the first. That makes it a 7-point lead. Second free throw misses. Guys, no real chance for them to come back now.
Nope, this one is sealed and delivered.
Now you just want to forget about this one, move on to the next game, and you got to try to get better at practice.
And that's an intentional foul.
That's his second personal foul. Third team. At the line for the Rockets.
Sinks the first one, and that increases their lead to 6. Perfect from the line, and it's a 7-point ball game.
Clutch free throws there. He drained them all to raise the lead.
Time call here. The Nuggets decide to talk it over. They're behind by 7. 19 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. 19 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. The shot by Abdul-Rauf is no good. Here's Cassell. Dishes to Olajuwon. Launches it. He's off from 3. Heaves it up. Misses. So we see the Rockets get the win here.
Well, we knew it would be a battle, but in the end, Olajuwon and the Rockets, just too much for Denver.
And you look at how this Houston team is made up with Hakeem inside and the role players that surround him. Very few holes.
2 great centers and 1 great game. That's all for us now. For Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg, Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.